everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Chris Yee.
And undisputably, today we're talking about Quacks Co. But I want to say undisputably, the Quacks of Quedlinburg is one of the best games ever designed, as all of us universally agree.
I'm out.
Yeah, Chris for some reason doesn't like it. But anyhow.
I really don't like the original, no.
Like, I don't personally like it, but I can see it's a good game, or like, I think it's trash.
No, I can see why lots of people have fun with it. I have very little fun with it, actually.
I have so much fun with it. And so when I heard there was a kids version coming, hooray! Because kids versions of Euro games are usually pretty good, even if I don't like the base game.
That's why I was interested in this one, right, because I'm in that position.
Interesting, I was very hesitant of this because I like Quacks so much, and in order to play with my son when he was younger, I kind of did my own home brew, whatever, like I only played with one ingredient, and then when he was ready, I added another ingredient. So because of that, I was hesitant that they would be able to make a kid, I was going to say dumb down, but like wash it a little bit and make a kid's version. So I was very hesitant of this because I like Quacks so much, and I think it is very versatile already.
Watch where we're coming from. Let's see how you play the game, and we'll be right back. In this game, you are moving your piece and trying to be the first one to get up to town here. Each player will have a different character. These are little, donkey, a sheep, a cow, a pig. You're going to get the matching bag, although I will say that the pink and the white bags are the stiff material. I really don't like them for whatever reason. But in your bag, you're going to be putting different tokens. So you have some apples. You'll put 2 1s and a 2 into your bag. You're going to put 4 Dreamweed in your bag, and you're going to put 1 yellow corn on the cob in your bag. And you're going to be shuffling these around. Each player is also going to get a board that they're going to put in front of them of their animal. And it's going to show some spots here where they can dream a bit. Each player just takes a turn, and on your turn you pull a token from the bag. If you pull a token that's not a Dreamweed token, you're going to put it here. The number on the token will show how many spaces you move forward. Then you'll take the action of that token. So we'll take a look. For example, this is the apple. There's a board next to it. So that says I get a ruby. I would get 2 rubies if I was on one of these spiral spaces. If you pull a dream token, you don't do anything. You just put it here. And when you put your 3rd dream token there, which means you have no action, at that point, you're going to stop and be able to buy new tokens. Buying tokens is easy because they're right here in the box. You can see you can buy a level 1 of the different colors for 1 ruby, a level 2 for 2, a level 4 for 3. These 2 are level 5s for 4, and these big ones here, which lets you move forward 8. They have no special ability. There's also clovers, which some of the abilities will give you, and rubies. This is a nice storage solution. So when you do that, whatever you buy, you can buy more than 1 token, but they have to be different colors. If you're in last place when you buy, you get a ruby from the bank to spend. And you don't have to spend all your rubies. You can save for later. But either way, you throw everything, all your tokens, back in the bag. I already mentioned what the apples do, but the yellow, the corn, when you get that, you're going to roll a die, which could do different things. This one, for example, gives you a ruby. One of them gives you another red apple too, and put it into your bag. Some let you move your animal. This lets you move your animal 3 spaces forward, so on and so forth. This one here lets you pick a token that's on your card and throw it back into the bag, including the one you just drew if you want to. This here gives you a 4-leaf clover. So I mentioned the 4-leaf clovers before as something that you can get, and you'll take them and you're going to put them here on your animal card. And if you're on a spiral one, you get 2 4-leaf clovers. Anyway, when you get the 3rd dream leaf on your animal, then you will immediately move your animal forward the number of 4-leaf clovers here. So the more 4-leaf clovers you have as the game goes by, getting 3 of these will make you move faster. The purple one here, you'll count how many rubies you have, and that's how far forward you move. And the blueberry here lets you just go forward to the next spiral. And this is even the base set. This is called the caterpillar set because the caterpillar's in the corner. You can see you can flip these over and play a completely different set, which will have, different abilities that the players can do. And you can even if you want to flip the board over, and it's a longer track. But anyway, you keep going till someone gets here to the top. That person's the winner. Before we jump into gameplay, components, you wanted to say something?
Oh.
Okay, you're done.
Rage. I hate them.
To the point where my daughter, because the pink bag is rougher than the others, she was like, I want to play the pig. Felt the bag and like second guessed it.
This, I don't even know what to say. Like just rage, red, fire, kick, puppy. Like I hate everything about it so much.
And you?
I think the bags are a little gross, but otherwise the components are fantastic.
You said you didn't like the answer.
Oh yeah, well,
You're
the
also
problem
wrong.
with this middle bar is it doesn't, like the tokens can slide underneath it.
Can't you
So
just glue it down? I mean,
maybe.
I almost never want to use a box insert during the game, but the fact that this one has these on the
Because the pricing
sides,
is so smart.
man, I just pass it to the kid who's buying chips and say, okay, it's your turn to the next person. And it lets them pick a chip and everything, and they don't have to sit there and go, how much was this again? Because it's right there.
Right.
I think that part about it is really good, yes.
I didn't have that problem with it going under. I mean, even shaking it like that.
Let me get my microphone
Chris is
closer
wrong.
to it.
Chris is wrong. It's fine.
Okay.
Also, me and Chris just realized on the back of these boards, it tells you what tokens to put in your bag. I've never flipped the board over once.
No, and that's really brilliant.
Okay, not only that, oh my gosh, you guys are missing like all the good stuff here. Hold up. Not only does it have it on the back, it also has it to size. So if a kid is having to refill their bags, you can be like, hey, match it up. That's what's going to go in your bag. Everything else goes back in here.
I don't want to
So
steal
it's
your
a great
thunder. I
cle-
wanted
no.
you to have that moment.
No, you didn't realize it. You didn't even know it was back there.
I didn't know it was back there.
Okay.
Now, some people, if you play Quacks Co, you love the upgraded pieces because they've been upgraded across the board. They do not exist and probably never will for this game, but I did not have a problem with them in this because you're pulling out one on your turn rather than pull. Maybe,
Right.
and maybe I'm not playing this 100 times like we played the other one. I don't know, but okay, gameplay. So when I was first done with the first game, I thought that was pretty lucky, and then I thought, so's Quacks Co.
Right.
And I love that game, so why am I criticizing this game? And I feel like they're pretty much the same
Right.
thing, except there's no pushing your luck in this game.
There is not. No, once you hit the 3, it's purchasing time, and you might not have gotten many rubies. So there's kind of a little. That's where some of the variation comes from. Is that you might have not have a lot of purchasing power this particular round.
So I think that there's two potential issues with the gameplay that I ran into, which I think once I reread the rule book came back to they were easily missed rules that were addressed. So the problem that I had is on the first turn, drew 3, and I busted on the first turn, drawing 3 Dreamweed. And then just like in Quacks, you kind of sit there while the other person goes and goes and goes. And then the next thing that happened again. And the misrule was you keep going. You draw 1, you draw 1, you draw 1, you draw 1, back and forth. And so you don't wait until you both bust and then buy together.
Oh, you thought everyone drew at the same time?
No, I thought you went back and forth, but it was just more just for that visual, just for player interaction, not actual your turn, my turn, bouncing back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
And so once I actually played it correctly, where it is after you bust, the next one, you're back drawing again, you're right in. It almost acted as a catch-up mechanism, and I really saw it even out, and I thought that was really, really well done, especially for a younger crowd that would be playing this, so that there is no downtime. They don't feel bad when they bust early. They can get right back in. Yes, they busted early, but they might buy 2 ingredients to your 1, because they busted quickly.
My only concern with that is I played several games of this where I was like, sometimes I play with one hand behind time I hack with kids, and I was maybe 15 spaces ahead. And I was like, and just every time I rolled the die, it worked out. Just every time, and I always landed on a spiral when I needed to. And I was like, oh, come on, time, and I didn't draw the black until the last of the bag.
Right.
It just felt like there was more luck than in Quacks. Now, again, with kids, I don't think that's a problem because, the game wasn't so quick. We played again, and then the next time I lost. But I don't know that you can pick the chips that go in your bag, and that's all well and good, but...
Did you ever try the long side of the board?
I did both. I tried everything.
Okay. I found that the long side of the board evens out the odds a lot.
I think so,
Okay.
too. In fact, I think when we played the long side, my son said, why did we play the short side?
Like, because we need to try out everything.
Because I didn't know if I wanted to play with you that long.
No, I did not say that.
Oh, but you thought it.
But no, that's a legitimate thing, right? You don't know if your kid is
Right.
going to want to stand a game that long,
Yeah.
and some kids don't. But I found that the short side was very short, and it's swingier. It's still there's still swingy issues with the long side of the board, but it evens out. You know, I've seen it be a little bit closer, even when someone is clearly ahead on that long side. So I prefer that one, really.
Nice. Another one of my concerns was in Quacks of Quedlinburg, the ingredients can be a little bit not complex necessarily, but it takes. Hold on, let me think about that. Okay, I get it. I found the symbology on these. The ingredients themselves are very simple, but then the iconography for it is really easy to get. If you explain it for half a second, the kid's like, oh, okay, I get it, and the picture helps remind. I really found those very easy to
I thought
understand.
the clover was a little confusing
I
for
will
kids.
say, yeah, I will say with the clover. I guess I meant like base ingredients.
I kicked her butt with the clovers, so I guess I don't know. I got it.
I don't know what I was.
How are you not? No, because the clover's a weird thing. Because you roll, you get a clover. What does that do? Nothing.
Right.
Put
yes.
it here.
You bust,
and
yeah.
wait. Now when you bust, you get to move that many spaces. So you're teaching delayed gratification, which works,
Right.
but it's hard to teach.
But in the game's defense, the clover is the advanced side of the boards.
No, there's
right?
clovers on both.
Oh, is there?
On
Maybe
both,
I
but you
didn't-
don't use the purple and orange in the most basic.
That's right. Yeah, you
version
don't.
of
Yeah,
it.
so the very most basic. So they've already played at least
That's
one game.
right,
If
I
you're
forgot
going
about
down and
that. Yeah,
building
but you know what? I tried that. My son was like, "What's the purple and orange? Why can't I buy those?" I was like,
Go
"All right, you can."
Yeah, I think the game does a really good job of having those gradients, though.
Yes.
Having that, your first introductory game, use 4 of the ingredients only. Next, maybe try the longer board. Next, try the extra ingredients. Flip them over, and that's I know what makes Quacks really fun for a lot of people is that mixing up what what powers you're going to use. And this feels fun like that. The back sides, the butterfly sides, I think are more thoughtful than the caterpillar sides. The caterpillar sides, I think, also swing in more to that luckiness.
That's
Yeah,
true.
very much so.
So, what's your final thoughts then? Since you didn't like the original game.
I gotta say, I like this one a lot. I'm one of those people that I'm gonna get a lot of call-outs for this, but I like this. I like playing this more than I like playing the original Quacks at Quedlinburg.
All right, we're done here.
But that's because this puts me into just a fun, easygoing mood that for some reason I don't feel playing Quacks. And so playing this with kids, this is really fun.
So if Quacks was a kid's game, would you like it more?
Maybe, right? But
Okay.
I go into a different headspace with
Right.
it, and maybe that's the difference. I'm going to give this a 7. I should have said at the beginning, sorry. Because I know that when we edit, we put up the numbers. 7.
I'm also giving it a 7 because I also really like it, but it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's hard for me to explain because I do come in with that headset of, oh, it's Quacks. Oh, it's not as good as Quacks. That's fine. It's a kid's game and everything. But it didn't charm me as much as, say, my first Stone Age did or Kids Carcassonne. That being said, it's a lot of fun. My son enjoyed it. He'd probably give it an 8. You know, he liked it that much more. So, but for me, playing with the kids, it's a good experience. So, yeah, I like it a lot. 7.
Well, I'm coming in higher. I'm coming in at an 8, and I actually went back and forth between 8 and 8.5. But I'm coming in at an 8 because, again, I was so hesitant, and it really caught me off guard and surprised me, I think, how smooth it went and how the concerns that I had. Because the other concern was if you bust, then you don't have any money to buy anything. That's fixed in the rules again. Easily missed rule. So I think that's the biggest thing is just make sure to read the rule books. There are those little bitty, those rules that are easy to miss because it is such a simple game.
And also, like, oh, I know Quacks. Flip, flip, flip.
Right, exactly. But it really charmed me, and I really liked it. And I think that what this does over playing Quacks and kind of my home brewed version of it is it takes it to a younger level even, or younger age even. I mean, I think I could play this with a 4-year-old, you know, with the caterpillar side and just okay, draw it. Let's look at the pictures. What do you do? I mean, it's going to be slow as Christmas, you know, but you could do it, you know. Well,
Slow? Is Christmas slow?
Christmas comes slow.
Oh,
it's
I
slow
see.
to get to
Oh,
Christmas.
okay.
You're waiting on. That's
Sometimes
a saying,
Camille
y'all.
slips into these
That's
settings we don't know.
That's a saying. That is a
I
thing.
love it. I love it. That's awesome.
What you said made me. I would bring up a point. I like playing the games with different ages. To me, this is lower elementary. If I have upper elementary, I'm playing Quacks with
Absolutely.
them.
Yes.
I really
yes.
think this is a little too easy because the only choice you make in this game is what you buy.
It works well for
Right.
that age group, though, because it teaches
Sure,
deck
and
building. It
I'm
teaches
just putting
bag
my
building,
rating and everything into
absolutely.
perspective.
Right.
I think it's great for younger elementary.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these kids games, though, versions of, like Kids of Carcassonne,
They usually are for lower elementary.
Right.
I think it fits right in that same vein, and it's kind of a smaller window because kids will grow up inevitably and want to play the bigger version. But for that window, I think this is really good.
But I mean, for this game to get a kid, I mean, if they played Candyland, they can play this game.
Oh my word, yes.
You know, and so like if they
Also throw Candyland
and it's
away.
so much better than Candyland, so much better. Like it's an actual game, you know, and so and it gets you in that idea and that methodology or that methodical thinking where I pull something, okay, what's it do? Do it. What it pull? What do I do? Do you know? It kind of gets you in that rhythm. So then you can go to Quacks earlier and more smoother, in which has your upgraded bits and your deluxification and that kind of stuff. So I think it is fantastic.
I want to retheme this for Candyland now. Instead of a mule, it's me. And I'm pulling candy out of the bag.
Candy.
But then you have energy crashes after a while. You're like,
Right there.
too much candy.
That's Tom Vasel right there.
Oh, look at him. Yeah, he's
There
got
he
all that blueberry candy all over his
There he
cheeks.
is.
I love it.
Anyway, that is Quacks Co. Check it out, especially for kids. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Chris Yee.
We'll see you next time. I'm going to eat some candy.
Yum.